Hello everyone, it's me again and I'm back for another video. Before I get into anything, I would first like to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I really can't tell you how much this means to me. When I first saw my 200 subscriber on this channel, I was so happy, and thank you to the person who was my 200th sub. Just thank you so much. I never imagined that we would have gotten here, but it's really great that I'm at 200 subs. It's just, I can't thank you guys enough. This means so much to me, and you guys all mean so much to me. Anyways, with that out of the way, I'll get back to the video. This is going to be part 2 of why Jurassic World Evolution 2 is so exciting. Part 1 mainly talked about the Archosaurs, all the new stuff, and all the stuff that makes them quite exciting. This is going to be part 2, in which we discuss the new customization and gameplay mechanics. All of this is just stuff that I can remember. If I forgot something, please let me know in the comments. First, let's go into the customization in Jurassic World Evolution was lackluster. You got a few buildings that you couldn't really change, and you got some other stuff like rocks and trees and some terrain systems. And the terrain system in the first game was not great, like really wasn't great, but you know, it was the least of the first game's problems. Anyways, the customization was lacking. You had to get pretty creative sometimes to really build a unique park when it comes to that. But in the second game, that is all improved and it is all so much better. Also, do keep in mind, yes, I am using footage from Jurassic World Evolution, however, my points still stand. The only reason I'm able to get creative is through the use of mods, the Enhanced Terrain Tools mod, and a mod which gets rid of all hitboxes. So, in case anyone wanted to call me out on that, I did it before you. And you can just really go in there and create the parks that you want to make and add your own unique spin to it. First, we're going to discuss the new terrain. Not terrain systems, just terrain in general. This is one of the things I'm most excited for. In the first game, you were stuck to mainly tropical. However, in the second game, you have 5 biomes. One of them is tropical, however, that is, that was expected due to Chaos Theory mode, which I'll get into later. Anyways, we're getting 5 biomes. One of them is tropical, and the other are temperate, taiga, alpine, and desert. All of them, when I first saw them, are completely new and different from the first game, and it was really exciting, and it was such a breath of fresh air to finally see something other than the lush green tropical environment. The alpine biome did honestly disappoint me. It feels way too similar to the taiga biome, but it's honestly not too much of a deal breaker for me. That's fine. I do wish that we got something like the savanna, but there are completely new sets of plant and foliage for each biome. Every biome just looks so incredible. It looks so diverse. This will also allow us to, as I said, get more creative in what our exhibits look like and stuff like that. We'll get to put dinosaurs in environments that we never could have in the first game, without modding of course. You can also, with the new biomes, recreate some of your favorite places. Like for instance, with the temperate biome, I can recreate some of my favorite places too. The foliage seems to be limited to brushes. This isn't the most ideal solution, however it's still fine because the foliage looks great anyways. You can still get creative with it. You can change the brush size to be really small to get more precise than you would in the last game, vanilla. I wanted to discuss the rocks for a bit. There are going to be a lot more rocks. In the first game we got around 5 rocks or something like that. In the second game we're going to be getting 25 at launch. And you can do so much more with the new rocks. This might seem small, however you can turn the rocks on both axes, but it makes a world of a difference. If you turn a rock just a bit on both axes, it can look like an entirely different rock. That's how much use you can get out of it. A lot of this environment stuff adds up to allow you to shape and create your own exhibit that is very unique and can get really creative. I wanted to discuss the amenities and the attractions. In the first game, you just got a set of buildings like an arcade or a bar, and you couldn't change anything about them, you just placed them down. Well, it was nice to get a diverse range of buildings. This system is a lot better. You can go and individually change the amenities and attractions look. You go to a little menu when you click on an amenity, and there are like 7 different sets of options, and you can switch through different ones for each option. It really just lets you add a personal touch and lets you get really creative and make them look really diverse while still being easy to work with. It's not like a modular system, however you can change things with preset options. Like you can choose planters or a Spinosaurus skull, choose a flat rooftop or rooftop chairs and umbrellas. It's really simple and easy to do these things, and while it might take a bit more time, it really amounts to a lot in the long run. You can place down an amenity and completely change the look of it within a few seconds. It's great. You also have a color wheel to change individual colors on things on the building. This customization also is great for themed areas, such as a Jurassic Park themed area. I wanted to discuss the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World eras. The Jurassic Park and World eras give you many different styles of building to work with, and overall do look very nice and add another creative touch to the game. And due to mixed eras, you're going to be able to create nice themed areas and mix and match them, and it's quite nice. There are also new old iconic resources like the Jurassic Park San Diego Amphitheater, which was really awesome to see in the trailer. I lost my mind. It is so great that we're getting legacy items. It just makes our parks be able to be 10 times cooler. I only hope that we can use them in Sandbox, which we probably will. This section will tie into a later section that you'll see in a bit. There is a new tour system. The tour system is similar to the first game. However, you can go through aviaries, which is a great addition, as I said in the first video, and you can also go over paths, which is great. And last of all, for the customization part, the maps are going to be a lot bigger than they were in the first game. In the latest Dev Diary, we've seen a map that is very large, and this will allow us to really build the parks that we want and build what we want. And for that, I'm pretty sure that's all we get for the customization part. With that out of the way, let's move on to part 2. The gameplay has been drastically improved in the second game. In the first game, it felt like a mobile game and there was a lot of waiting, and the management really wasn't that great. It was way too easy and all that kind of stuff. Branching from that, I wanted to go into the new time controls they've added. As I said, the game used to feel like a mobile game with all the waiting. However, with the time controls, that's all been basically negated. With the time controls, you can speed things up and cut all of the waiting time, meaning that the game is more hands-on and you can still keep playing the game as much as you want. I wanted to go over scientists. The scientists make the game ultimately a lot more engaging and a bit more complex. People are complaining about them, however, I think they're exaggerating. They add a layer of complexity that's not too deep, but deep enough. They're not tedious, as people like to call them. All you simply need to do is assign them to tasks, rest them, and whenever the time calls, train them up. That's all you need to do. It adds another management aspect that makes it feel more hands-on, and just adds more things for you to do, and I really appreciate that. There's also a new paleo-medical system that was cut from JPOG, but is really, really cool to see in the second game. Basically, if a dinosaur is like really injured beyond just being able to shoot it with a dart, then you'll have to trank it and take it over to the paleo-medical facility to have it be treated. This is really cool and makes it feel more hands-on, and it just makes the dinosaurs feel more alive, and it gives you something else to do. I like it so much. Same with the mobile veterinary unit. There are also more types of guests. You can't individually click on guests, which is a bit of a shame, however it's understandable. There are 4 types of guests: nature, general, luxury, and adventure, and you need to cater to them in various ways. One of them is being able to change the inner modules on amenities, which appeal to different types of guests and therefore earn you more money. They also have other preferences like specific dinosaurs and non-attraction/amenity buildings like hotels and stuff. It just adds a lot more for you to do and more to pay attention to. Now I'm going to go over the new mode, Chaos Theory, basically a much better version of Return to Jurassic Park. Chaos Theory lets you replay a bunch of levels from the old movies, however with a different what-if twist on them. And it's really cool that they took the time out to make this cool and unique mode for us fans to really get into. Through it, we're going to be getting stuff like the Jurassic Park era, and we're going to be getting like exclusive buildings, like I said, the San Diego Amphitheater. They offer a different experience from the campaign and challenge mode, and are just a really cool idea having different what-if scenarios. Campaign has also changed a lot. Instead of like how it was in the first game, campaign is not focused on building theme parks at all, indicated by the lack of a star rating in campaign. Rather, you're going to be focusing on conservation and taking care of the dinosaurs, which is quite cool. It gives us something different from what we got in the first game and different from the other modes that we're going to be getting. It just offers a more unique experience and stuff like that. The story also seems to be getting more complex, with Kajal Dua, one of the division leaders from the first game, working for the CIA and the Department of Fish and Wildlife getting involved, as well as old characters from the films like Claire Dearing and Ian Malcolm and Chris Pratt, as well as the absolute MVP Cabot Finch. I'm going to very quickly touch on dinosaur breakouts since they're meant to fit in the animal section and there's not much to talk about. They're going to be less frequent and common than the last game, as I said, and another thing that's also really cool is that the raptors and Dilophosaurus actually climb fences, which was awesome. I loved seeing that. And the last bit that I'm going to touch on are the new weather calamities. There are new weather calamities for each biome: sandstorm, hurricane, tornado, snow, and probably one that I missed. I'm sorry, I really can't remember. This adds some much needed variation to the weather, and it also adds a bit of challenge to the game. I don't know how frustrating they'll be, but hey, it's at least cool to get new weather stuff. Honestly, that's literally everything that I can remember. I probably did miss some stuff, so please tell me in the comments what I missed if I did miss anything. But yeah, this was a bit of a ramble. No, this was a huge ramp of a video, and it was really good just being able to get this stuff out there. I'm sorry that I had to rush everything, but I did. I had to keep it as short and concise as possible. So yeah, I'm quite sorry about that. But hey, I just like talking about stuff I like, and you know what? I think that's perfectly okay. Also, that will wrap it up for this series. I probably should have stretched it out to take advantage of the sheer hype that Jurassic World Evolution 2 is getting. But the next video will be a proper and fitting video that will take advantage of it while also being more serious, you could say. But yeah, this is the end of the Why Jurassic World Evolution 2 is so exciting series, and while it was a bit rushed, I did what I had to do. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't like it, tell me why in the comments. I'd love to know why. Join the Discord. I'll keep a link in the description and I'll pin a comment on it. And with that all out of the way, see you later.